Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Did you develop epilepsy in early adulthood? For some selfish context, my mother developed epilepsy in her early 30s after her second child was born. I had one incident that was judged to be maybe a seizure years ago, but nothing like that since. She told me that her neurologist reckoned she had been predisposed to it, but hadn't expressed it until she entered the most stressful period of her life. If your epilepsy started expressing itself in your adulthood, did you have any warning? Was there anything unusual you noticed beforehand? Did you have a family member with epilepsy who developed in the same way? Much love and prayers to all.
That would be a Jeff question because I know you developed epilepsy later in life, didn't you? Or were you diagnosed later?
No, I developed it later. I was 75. But I think they're talking about somebody that's younger and developing it later in life. In their 20s or 30s, I think, unless I'm misunderstanding that, Kate.
This one sounds like their child, the child. So the patient is the mother developing epilepsy in her 30s.
In her
and it
30s.
Sounds to me like one of her children is writing about it, saying, what do I have to worry about?
Right.
Because the questions they're asking.
It's totally different than what happened to me. I didn't have any warning. There was no way for me to. I mean, there might have been a warning because Liz said that earlier that year before my first seizure. We had gone somewhere out to dinner for her birthday with a bunch of friends. And I didn't remember that entire weekend. A month or so after, I didn't remember any of it. But we didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of months later is when I had my first seizure, or first known seizure.
One of the big ones.
Excuse me?
One of the big ones?
Yeah, it was one of the big ones, naked in front of my landlady.
Sorry.
That is one to be remembered.
Well, fortunately, I didn't remember it.
Oh, I bet she does.
I'm sure she does. The strange thing is she wanted to rent to me again.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah.
Robbing the cradle, Jeff.
Well, I think it was more that we paid the rent on time.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
See, I got diagnosed in my 20s with, my neurologist and I are pretty sure my seizure started when I was in high school. So as warning, panic attacks that you don't remember. Going into panic attack when you don't remember them. That's a warning sign. Because lots of people get misdiagnosed with anxiety and stuff. And it's still a thing, yeah. People do get stressed.
Oh, shit.
What's going on?
Somebody saying, thanks, US doctors. My whole life I've been told I'm just sensitive. I was told I'm hormonal, that I have panic attacks, that I was called attention seeking in elementary school, hypochondriac in middle school and beyond. Describe things the best I could, and I've always been blown off. Oh, it's vertigo, probably just your hormones. Crazy things happen after giving birth, give it time. Even though I said it's not an acute situation, not vertigo, and it's been happening my whole life, not a postpartum thing. I'd go to the ER begging for help. They'd do an EKG, take my blood pressure, then tell me nothing's wrong and it's in my head. They always refused to admit me. They wouldn't do any tests that I asked for, like a CT or MRI or EEG. One notable time, the ER doctor said she didn't want to give me a CT because it would probably give me brain cancer. I'd follow up with primary care. They'd say there's no reason to refer anywhere if ER found nothing. I always fought with them that they didn't find anything because they didn't do anything. I'd go back and forth between the ER and primary care, make countless phone calls, send many angry messages, crickets. After nearly 20 years of this, and only because my husband got involved, fuck being a woman, I guess, I was referred to a neurologist. With one simple MRI, the answer to everything was right there. MST, severe. My hippocampus region spreading to my cerebellum has atrophied, and it looks like there is a hole in my brain from so much neural death. Maybe if someone just once listened to me prior, I'd still have a working brain and more to save. Now it's just damage control. I'm still processing everything. I'm happy there's an answer because after being gaslit for so long, I could cry knowing I'm not crazy. This is real. This is epilepsy. On the other hand, this is epilepsy, a severe and drug-resistant variety. I'm counting my blessings because my seizures have remained focal, often and intense, but not tonic-clonics. But I feel like it's only a matter of time. Maybe if it was caught earlier, that wouldn't be the case. Thanks for reading. Life is frustrating. Wow.
Yeah.
That many years and it didn't advance to tonic-clonics, that is a big deal.
That's actually kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Does this seem to happen more to women than to men? The doubting yourself symptoms.
I think it depends on your insurance too.
Well,
Especially
I
since she had that label early on of uh, psychological.
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, women are dismissed more than men when it comes to no, something's really wrong here. I've seen that with a lot of our friends.
I mean, I read a lot about, and it's mostly women that have the complaint, and I mean, it's totally ridiculous. I don't understand. I understand where it comes from, but you know, the 50s are over.
And mesial temporal sclerosis is what she ended up getting diagnosed with. And that usually results, this is something from Columbia saying, Columbia University, usually results in partial focal epilepsy with seizures are confined to one area of the brain. So that's where she's talking about her hippocampus.
Mm.
That's got to be the one. I think that's the part of the brain that has a lot to do with memory. So she probably has been having like lifelong symptoms.
Hippocampus is also the fear region. I'm not saying you can't feel fear without it, but it's, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm just seeing learning and memory. So information, new memories, and spatial navigation. Oh, hippocampus does a lot. Yeah, from what they know. Probably just poke that part of the brain on a couple people and see what happens.
But you don't need it.
And who's to say that some people don't?
I
Okay.
don't. I don't have
Say
one.
prayers. The car dealership is on the phone. We're going to see what they can do for financing. Bookie, take over.
How do people hold down work with regular auras? Hoping for any advice or insight from anyone who's dealing with something similar. My husband has full-time seizures in 2021. It's been a pattern for roughly 2 to 3 weeks with no auras, and then a spell for 1 to 3 days of multiple auras each day, typically beginning when he wakes up. He is on medication that his neurologist insists staying on for now. The days he has auras, though, are rough. Nothing else can be done. He needs to lay in bed and sleep, and it's just completely unable to comfortably leave the house alone, basically terrified to have an aura in public while alone. He's been using Xanax on those days to alleviate the symptoms, but it does not help enough to save the day. We own a business together, just two of us, which requires both of us on site for 6 months of the year, 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. We started this business last year at a time when his auras had been less frequent. Things are smooth for the first time. The next month, he began having spells of auras and had multiple crazy days of me covering both of our jobs or bringing in help that wasn't fully ready. So I guess my question is, how do people manage? Is he just never supposed to work full time again? It's basically like he cannot have a set schedule or make any promises because he never knows which days he'll be up completely or completely debilitated. It is absolutely destroying his confidence. What do people do in this situation? Remote work, no work. We're actively hiring people to take over his role in our business, but it's just killing him knowing I'm working and he's unable. He is a USMC infantry veteran, wants to work harder than anyone I've ever met, but I can't. I will take any insight. For that, I say you can't. I don't know. I say don't go to work, but then like he owns a business, so I wouldn't say don't go to work. I mean like gotta work on a schedule that works for him because you got to make the money, and especially if you have a business, you can save money instead of hiring people. So
particularly if he can work remote.
yeah, to be
He owns
depressed,
the
gotta
business
find something.
and
Like she
work
said,
remote.
is there anything you can do? Remote work is what's in these days. I'm hearing. Not that I've been doing any, but they're saying remote work is what's going on, and it's a good thing.
Why doesn't she keep him on as a consultant, a paid consultant, and have him advise on running the business?
That is
And that-
awesome.
I'd say just, and he's a vet, so he wants to work. She's saying it's pressing him.
right. This gives him something to do.
Right, find something to do.
Right. He can
Anything
help
but
out where he can.
the only man or being the husband, and you got the business. That must be horrible. But I'll read a comment here. It says, it can be real difficult thing. For me, my break in luck was COVID and my job went fully remote. So I can lay down and make up time whenever I want. That said, everyone wants fully remote, so it can be really competitive to get such jobs. Right. Someone else said, it totally depends. The last few months of auras, I have been administering his emergency nasal spray after the particular bad ones, and so I believe this prevented the seizure from happening, if at all. But definitely, not every time the aura hits does a seizure follow. We can't find any triggers either. Eliminated everything over the last few years that we thought might be it. No alcohol, caffeine, limited time on the screen, and enough sleep. He is super easily frustrated, and I'm thinking stress might be the trigger, but it's also hard to say. I'm sorry you're going through that. Someone else said, I don't have aura, so I'm so sorry. I can't directly answer your question. After an aura, does he have a seizure? Yeah, so.
If he's having auras, auras can be, I hear that so much.
Yeah, auras are seizures.
He's just not having the big tonic-clonic seizures, but they still mess with your brain. So yeah, let him lay down, please.
How many of us take vitamins, calcium and vitamin D, for example, with the AEDs?
I take multivitamin. That count?
Let's take B12.
Take B12.
Shout out to Nature's Made.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I think he's still connecting.
Hey, Kev.
Hey,
Oh, Ken's here
Yes.
too.
hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, Kevin. How
Are
you
you?
doing?
Good to see everyone.
Likewise. Yeah, we're just getting started, so you're perfect timing. I don't know why we're just getting started. I think it was my fault, but yeah. Seizure
No,
from
somebody
pain.
else's.
The seizure from pain. 50-year-old female. I had my first seizure yesterday morning. I've had a sore back for about a week. And before the seizure, I bent down and had a sharp pain in my back, which took my breath away. I went outside to sit down, and all of a sudden, everything went black. And I felt like I was floating. Next thing I know, my husband was asking if I was here. Took me a while to be able to speak again. He said my arms and legs were flailing, eyes rolled back in my head, and I was clammy when I woke up. Went to the hospital, had a few tests, and they sent me home with a referral to a neurologist. My question is, has anyone had any seizures triggered by pain? There's no comments, but triggered by pain. I've been in pain, and I don't know if it was triggered by pain, but
I have.
you've had one triggered by pain?
Kidney stones and labor.
Oh. Yeah, I understand that.
I'm in pain
I didn't
all
get
the
one after
time.
the. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm in constant pain when I'm here in this part of the country, and I can't say that my seizures are from pain because there's a lot of other factors as well. And I've had them in California where I'm not in pain.
Yeah, I don't think pain is a trigger for me too, because the ectopic pregnancy is probably the most pain that I've ever been in, and that didn't trigger one.
No, I'm not saying I get a seizure if I get a paper cut.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's got to be enough to, stir up some hormones somewhere.
So sorry, you guys have to go through that. That's rough. Just like catamenial, you guys have to go through that shit. But yeah, there's no comments here, but yeah, I haven't had one due to pain. I think I've had a headache or something. I don't know if that was the exact cause, but I've had some headaches later on. I had a seizure and I was like, damn, I should have paid attention to that headache. But I don't know if that's the exact reason. But that's happened specifically.
I mean, pain
So for
is
Kevin, the icebreaker today was, what is your most used phone app? Most useful phone app?
Probably just Uber Eats. I use that the most. I don't really
That's a good
spend
one.
much time on the phone. I'm not like a guy who watches like video or anything on the phone, or yeah, it's not like a device I use much, so I just get food off it. That seems the most yeah,
Useful.
food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
Hey,
Oh,
Pokey, how
okay.
you doing, my friend?
All right, yourself.
I'm doing well. Last time I saw you, you were lying in the hospital bed.
I've seen you after that, I believe.
I just saw it this morning.
Um, that was like
you
2 weekends
rewatched it.
ago. I'm good. That was like 2 weekends ago, but thank you. Maybe
I
like
should be
3
on my
weeks.
way to work right now.
Mm,
I had a problem getting on here.
we are
And
here.
I don't know why. This is the second time this has happened, Pokey. I sent you a message, what? Like a month ago, you finally got it, you replied.
Oh yeah, you said I'm having an aura, and I was like, what? That was a month ago, but it said I
That was a
got it.
month ago. And now I just got this. Anyway,
That happens to me
everyone,
and Jeff all the time.
I should be on my way to work right now. I just had to stop in to say hello. I could probably get on later on this evening if you guys are going to be on.
Thanks for checking on me.
I will.
Glad you're doing all right. Now don't end up in the hospital again,
Me too.
or I'll have to
Just
come
glad-
down to California.
Yeah, glad I'm not in the hospital either. So far, so good.
Tom will come and bust you out.
And Katie, how you doing?
Doing
Big
well,
smiles.
thanks
Look
for
at that.
asking.
Honey, you've always got this grin from ear to ear. It's always so good to see you guys. I'm so happy. You and Toaster, Kev, and then of course there's always Jeff. He's always chilling.
Yeah, Jeff's always chilling in the background.
He's always
That's my
chilling.
role, Tom.
All right, everybody, I should go.
But
Have a good
You
day.
have a good day.
Oh
Take
yeah,
care,
I'm gonna
Tom.
have a blast.
We'll hope to see you later.
All right, bye now.
you got something, Kate? I got something. If you don't, I got
This
something
week has
else.
been. Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead. You started first.
All right. This one is saying this week has been exhausting. This one's supposed to be a funny story. They got a humor tag, but also amusing as hell. Been recovering from a cluster of 4 seizures that ran through me on Monday. The boyfriend's been filling me in on events of that day, seeing as I only remember 5 little blips of it. As much as seizures suck, the stories of post-seizure me are always so entertaining. Being funny is such a curse. For example, apparently at some point on Monday, a nurse asked me a question about my health, and I answered with a complete lie. My boyfriend, who entered the room shortly after, had to go chasing down the nurse who corrected my delirious ass. When he got back, my in-laws, mother, father, and son-in-law, were apparently all lightly mocking me about it, having a grand old time, which is when I piped up and started hollering about how seizure Katie can't be trusted. Yes, seizure Katie, she's a liar and a fool. Give me some post seizure funny stories. I swear I didn't read that all the way down. Did not know that was her name. But yeah, being delirious right after a seizure is pretty common. What about you guys?
Yeah, I've been
It cannot
delirious.
be true.
I've like not necessarily fought, but like kind of like trying to get everybody away from me. People trying to hold me down and keep me safe, and I'm pushing them away. Been there. I'd say that's delirious, right?
Yeah.
I know who you guys are, but for some reason I don't want you around. It's just how it happens. Um, yeah. So I got something. It
I know
says,
I can be funny. I
it
know
says,
that I wander after my seizures, not during the seizures like you do, but like my last seizure, my mom told me that she sat me down after I came out. She sat me down, and then 5 minutes later, I was wandering around Marshall. And so she grabbed me, sat me back down in the car. 15 minutes later, my mom finds me again. I just kept going out of the car and walking through Marshall. They have good scented candles.
Determined.
Yes, I was determined to smell those candles.
You guys ever try to just get back to what you were doing after a seizure?
Well,
Like
I was
determined to
smelling
get
candles,
back
so
up and okay.
Oh yeah.
plenty of times. I was playing video games before this. I'm gonna keep playing video games. Like I had to argue with you guys. Like I'm back. Don't you guys see me? I feel
Yeah, the
good.
most confrontational it gets is if I was doing something in the kitchen or doing something outside or something that nobody's gonna want to let me get back to doing. That's when it gets confrontational. But if they can get me to just do a puzzle, that's the best compromise.
it's the
If
best.
I'm willing to, yeah, if they got this puzzle tray somewhere, and if I start doing a puzzle on there, then it was on a recording where she tells daughter, "Go get the puzzle tray," and you can tell she's talking to me about just okay, just wait for a second, I'll get you some water, don't move. And as soon as the puzzle tray comes around, I just kind of sat back. So that yeah, that's my delirious post seizure thing.
I think I was delirious when I left the hospital. Packed up and left. Took the IVs out.
You busted yourself out. Okay. You didn't need Tom to come and get you.
And then I walked home an hour and a half. And yeah, walked home, and I think before I got home, I think my family had called me like, "Where you at?" And they said the police had came before I got there. They're like, "Where you at, man? Police just left here looking for you." I'm like, what? Why are the police looking for me? They was like, "Because you left the hospital." Like, oh yeah, okay, I'm coming up the street right now. And they make it look so easy when they put the IVs in your arm and they just take it out and they put the thing on your arm. It didn't work for me. I tried it and I got home and the gauze was just all red. I don't know how they do that. It seems to work when the nurses do it.
That's
Yeah,
because
I couldn't get it right.
what they use. You're talking about the IV, right?
Yeah, when I took the IV out, I had the gauze. Like I seen it, I planned everything. It's like I need a gauze and I need this and this. This is how they do it. And shouldn't have done that. I mean, I don't know how much I bled, but I don't think it was a lot just because it was like one gauze and the gauze was all red. But it was almost dry by the time I got home. I think maybe the tape was too loose.
What probably happened is for IV sticks, it's actually two different tubes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tube that gets under the skin and into your vein, and then the tube that stays there.
Yeah, one is the needle. They pull the needle out.
Yeah, and that way you can, bend your arm.
Is anybody afraid of needles? No.
I was a phlebotomy tech until I was diagnosed with seizures, so no afraid of needles here.
Okay.
How did you ever talk somebody through it who was scared of needles?
Oh, the best way to do that is have them look away. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. Just keep talking to them. Oh, you like that fan? I mean, you like you like that team? I like that team. I like this team better. And then just stick it in there while they're too busy talking to you. That's the best way to do it. Because they're
That's
like,
a great strategy.
And freeze. And
It's not painful, but I think the whole ritual of having a needle put in you, the whole sitting down, being strapped in, and just having someone in a mask come up to you and take off that. I don't know, maybe it's a whole mental thing. Because it doesn't,
but you're right, it's usually the anticipation.
Yeah. The whole built up the phobia for it. I don't know.
Kids are.
Yeah, I was afraid of needles as a kid and couldn't get earrings or none of that stuff. Eventually, I pierced my ears myself with tacks. Not sure why, but I was in high school. And I was just piercing, and it became so fun that I just put two in both ears. And I was like, why the hell do I have two? I don't know, but it was too late. So now I have two in each ear.
I feel so sorry for your mom. My son just pierced his ears. That's not the problem, though. He pierced his ears with nailed.
I was literally walking around with the tacks in my ears because they were colored, so it was cool. I was in high school. I was too cool for school. But anyhow, whoa. It says, what comforts might help someone who injured their tongue badly during a seizure? My dad had a seizure about a week ago for the first time. An incident 2 months ago had happened, but the hospital wasn't sure what it was at the moment. At 68, and was admitted to ER. According to my mom, mangled his tongue. He is miserable and having a hard time eating or enjoying anything. This is new to all of us. Any advice on what may lift his spirits a bit or help at all? My dad is a great person, and I hate that he's in misery. And what she told me was peroxide. She said it sucks, but it works. So prepare for the worst. And she said it's disgusting, but it works. Yeah, I couldn't imagine drinking peroxide.
Well, you don't drink it, you gurgle it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine putting it in my mouth. So there's that.
I thought you meant how to lift his spirits, like how to make him happy.
Well, it does sound like he might just need to heal.
Yeah, it sounds like you just need some healing time.
Yeah.
Not
Let's
a hot drink, but a warm drink.
That's
let's
what
go
you
to
said
the
about the
comments.
cider.
Comments say, one of them says, Oragel, don't neglect the mouth hygiene, even if it hurts, because a clean mouth heals faster. Right. Another one says Oragel and other brands make mouthwash, wash and rinses for pain. Look for those. On to the next one. It says possible mini seizure. I was chilling watching TV and humming a song when all of a sudden it feels like time jumps forward for maybe a second or two. That happened, I found that my head was tilting backwards and my eyes were rolling back to back of my head, like looking upwards to the ceiling. And even a stranger, I was still humming. Oh, and even stranger, I was still humming, like I was doing it voluntarily as I lost awareness and I was left with a very confused feeling. I know it might sound crazy, and no, I did not fall asleep because this did not feel right. I'm just worried that I had a small seizure as possible, as people tend to describe what I just described. FYI, I have no past issues with this. I am currently taking Prozac and hydroxyzine. Hydroxyzine is to sleep. Isn't Prozac for like psychotic stuff? I mean, not psychotic. That sounds so bad.
It's an antidepressant. I take it.
It's an antidepressant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hydroxyzine they gave me to use for sleep because I couldn't get sleep. Yeah, let's go to a comment. There's only one. It says, very likely I would see a doctor soon. Sooner the better. If it was a seizure, getting an EEG soon after can help. Get an accurate diagnosis faster so you can get appropriate treatment. Article linked below showing more likely to detect in the first 16 hours. Either way, see a doctor and neuro ASAP. Even if it doesn't seem like a big deal now, there can be significant long-term consequences of having haywire activity in the brain left untreated. Not to mention finding out what happens if your seizure episode is not a brief episode on the safety of our couch. So that blacking out thing, like for 2 seconds, I think I got that a few times, quite a few times. I think I get it all the time. I think sometimes I feel like I'm just falling asleep, and I'm like, oh, I just fall asleep. I never took it as anything. I still sometimes feel like it might be just the slightest bit of tired. Sometimes I get, but then it doesn't usually. It's never gone into a seizure so far because it's usually late. I don't get those in the middle of the day. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's a seizure or not. I haven't heard of any like that, but that one sounds pretty similar. But I didn't look up at the ceiling. I wasn't humming. I was probably on the phone. Not on the phone, but like FaceTime. Yeah.
It
So
is time for me to go to Taekwondo. I will be back later. Love you guys.
See you then. Stay safe. Have fun.
We will.
so
This one here. Okay, go ahead. I didn't hear the last voice.
no, I was just looking at the bird. He dropped something and he hit the window. He was coming this way, so when he dropped it, it hit the window and he went over the house. So I'm wondering if he's gonna come back and go down. But yeah, go ahead, Kate.
Birds are cool. All right, this one is called Dreaming. Ever since I got diagnosed with epilepsy, I try to fall asleep, or if I try to fall asleep, I almost always get an aura. I could be completely drained from everything I did throughout the day, even if that was just laying down, but I physically cannot sleep. I try to stay at friends' places, but my body is so adjusted to home that it just defeats the purpose of going out and having fun. I start falling asleep and then I start thinking too much and my body tenses up. I open my eyes rapidly and start intensely breathing, reaching for my rescue medication. Epilepsy is such a painful thing to go through, especially when it induces sleeping. I hope I'm not the only one. So is this one saying that their seizures actually cause them to pass out? Or their seizures happen when they're starting to fall asleep, it is.
Sounds like
That happened a lot to me. Um, like I could fall asleep, but if I woke up and tried to fall back asleep, then I would have seizures. That's weird, I know, but it, um, like either I got full 8 hours or no hours. I don't know. Okay, so like I would wake up, get 6 hours, and then if I try to go back to sleep, I would start having seizures. I don't know. So sleep technically would cause seizures. Is that understandable? I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so I would wake up and from 6 hours, and then okay, I'm gonna put my eyes back to sleep, and then I would start having myoclonics or little twitches, and then it would get worse every time I closed my eyes. I would have to keep my eyes awake from having seizures. So uh, they were just so bad I had to stay awake for all day. And I was going on like only 4 or 6 hours of sleep. And yeah, it was not an efficient way to live. And that was it. Yeah, that's how my sleep schedule was.
Yeah, that's risky. And then eventually the medications just started working, and then you could
Um,
fall asleep normally.
it was complicated. Like it was very complicated because all my seizures were mostly in the morning, like the first half of the day. So it it, it was very hit or miss. I would wake up and be like, "Is this going to be a seizure day?" And if I didn't, it would be like a waterfall of myoclonic seizures, and yeah, it would just be awful from those uh yeah, so it would just be like I'm not getting back to sleep. I just have to stay up and do my ritual to prevent further ones from coming on. And yeah. But as far as to answer this person's question, what did I do to help that? Uh, I didn't do anything. I just stayed awake. I'm sorry. I don't have an answer for that. I wish I had a better answer.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you got better treatment to
Yeah,
get on a
yeah.
more long-term ritual.
I got something else here. It says, what kind of seizure? Okay, so it's been about 2.5 years since this happened, but I'm still wondering what possibly happened to cause me to have what I assumed was a seizure. First, I struggled really badly with hypoglycemia my freshman year, still somewhat due to an ED. What's ED? It says erectile dysfunction. There's a lot of EDs in the world. So it says freshman year, somewhat what I do due to an ED. And secondly, I have a vasovagal syncope, meaning I'm used to fainting at blood and bright lights. And finally, I had eaten something similar to an edible, but not exactly, since I got it legally under 18. So I'm not sure if that's what the factor is. All I remember is that I was feeling lightheaded, passed out, got back up, kept doing my mascara, and then soon I was on the floor. I remember popping in and out of consciousness, attempting to crawl to my room, screaming, like whispering for help. I remember it being painful, and I wasn't able to control my body. Eventually, I woke back up on the bathroom floor, brought myself downstairs, and laid on the couch with probably the most painful feeling of my life. A burning sensation running up and down my body, which eventually faded. Began to jerk aggressively side to side, something that usually happens during my bad hypoglycemia episodes. My body and head hurt so much, and I felt what I can only describe as a feeling that I felt I was close to death. I probably wasn't, but still. Obviously, I'm fine. Haven't had one since, but I still want to know what happened to me. And it was serious enough that I should have gone to the hospital, but I didn't. And things. I don't know.
So did I hear that right? They got a problem with ED, but they were putting on mascara.
Yeah.
Oh,
So now I'm thinking it's a female, but mascara doesn't exactly mean it's a female. So
that's what I mean. ED couldn't have been emergency department in this one, so it must be erectile dysfunction.
yeah.
Yeah, because they kept saying they should have gone to the hospital, so they definitely, it wasn't an emergency department thing. Yeah, so I mean, take notes. Once again, take notes of the timeline, exactly how you felt when things happened and what order they happened, and see if you can get some kind of evidence to show the doctor.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking that journal, take stuff down, because otherwise, yeah, if you don't, you're gonna be doing it over and over and over and not know what. Like I should have did when I was having focals and I didn't know what was going on. I should have journaled everything. I wasn't. I went 10 years until I found out it was a thing. I had to come way here just to figure it out. So come here if you want to figure yours out as well. Shout out to Nature's Made as well. There's no comments, so we'll move forward. What to do? Hey everyone, my partner just had a seizure and no one I've ever met had one, at least never in front of me. So I'm a little lost at what to do. The actual seizure lasted maybe a minute, no longer than 2. We were on our way to the airport when it happened and are waiting in the airport now for our flight. They recovered pretty quickly and they say they are okay and good to continue our trip. And their mom agreed. Is it actually okay? And what can I do to help when it happens? Thanks in advance. It says my partner, but it sounds like they're speaking about 2 people. When they get towards the end, it sounds like talking about 2 people.
So what part of the trip are they at to ask if they could continue? Somebody had one at the beginning, or I didn't catch that.
No, they said, is this actually okay? And what can I do if it happens? Is it okay to continue the trip? To keep going on the vacation once you're at the airport and you had a seizure? I believe so. I mean, it's just me. Tickets ain't cheap to planes these days. You're at the airport, might as well just go. You're already there. Yeah, but then the they part, she said they recovered pretty quickly and they say they are okay. And good to continue on our trip. And their mom agreed. So the theys and theirs, that means more than one person usually, right?
I mean, they're probably not talking about like the family recovering from it. They could, in theory, be referring to like children who witnessed a seizure of one of the, older family members. But I'm sure they would have mentioned that specifically. Yeah, anybody who calls off a trip is going to be kicking themselves, though.
I think I'm having what they call impending doom. But we can move forward. First comment says, I'd say no. I had my first seizure 5/25/25, according to my partner. I was in and out of it when went in. They thought it was me at the ER. They thought they were talking to me. I was admitted for observation since it was first. I had 3 meals, some family to visit again. They're then sleeping. Checked out of the hospital, left the curb waiting for partner, went to pharmacy to get anti-seizure meds at home. A couple days later, I actually remember only a few points. Partner was shocked that I wasn't there. As I remember very little, I used caution. Took me about 4.5 weeks to really be me again.
4.5 weeks is a long time to feel like yourself.
Right, I was thinking that it's quite a bit of time. I probably went to the hospital a few times in that 4 weeks, telling them I'm not feeling well. Just pointing this out, you guys. Came here last week, the week before. I'm still not feeling well. Figure it out. Good one. Seizures when no one's around. Meds plus meds timeline. Has anyone here ever had a seizure when no one was around to witness it? I'm trying to piece it together where what's been happening with me, and I've had moments where I've come to feeling disorientated, exhausted, or with muscle soreness, but no one was there to see it. So I don't know for sure if I had a seizure. It's really unsettling feeling not knowing what your own body is doing when you're alone. Also, for those who are on medicine, how long did you take it before you started to feel like it was actually helping? Did you have to try a few before finding the right one? Any insight on experiences would mean a lot. I feel kind of alone in this right now. I really want to understand what I'm dealing with. You're dealing with a lot. When seizures when no one's around, I got this chair here and it has arms. So if I do have a seizure and I'm leaning back, my friends watching can tell me, and I won't fall or hit the floor because I pretty much made these arms pretty stable. And I think at the most I might kick my legs up and put my head back. But yeah, get you something to keep you safe. I wouldn't say rails on the bed, but that might have helped that time that I fell off the bed. Go ahead, Jeff.
I've had seizures when alone. And the bed rail is a great idea. Amazon sells one that doesn't cover the whole bed, but a certain area. You can put it like by your hips, and you're not going to fall out of bed with that. And I never know, but I know by the way my body feels and by the way my mind feels. You wake up all disoriented and confused and, uh, unsteady and confused, and your body hurts. The same as if it did, you know, if you had it during the day, pretty much. Anyway, that's been my experience.
Yeah, I mean, this person sounds like they definitely just need some support. For me, the medications never felt like they were doing anything at less than 2 weeks. If you're on one of those where you take a fraction of what you're supposed to be taking for a couple weeks, then it might take even longer. You might not actually feel the effects of the meds how they're supposed to be working for a month. So this person just definitely just needs to be able to come here, talk to us, whatever, process or part of the process you're at. Take it one step at a time.
And take B12.
Shout out to Nature's Made.
I would say, of course. Oh, right. But
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Nature's Made. Go ahead, Kevin. What you got to say?
yeah, I've had plenty of seizures alone. Um, for most of my younger life, I didn't think much of it, but yeah, I've had tons of them, and it's a terrifying feeling when your body sort of just betrays you like that. But um, yeah, of course though, because everything is off, your system's off, your mouth is messed up, and but you could just know. And I never took much precautions. I just kind of wandered around like Mr. Magoo my, most of my life, and I'm just amazed I never got like seriously hurt. I mean, I've had seizures without bars and really really just dodged bullets, and I'm amazed. But I don't want to use the word lucky, but yeah. As far as the situation, I just try to take it easy and keep record of your seizures and know what is causing them. Yeah, you get to learn the disease and if you, yeah, all that good stuff.
So yeah, the seizures when no one's around, it's hard to get through it, I guess. But yeah, I'm home alone now. Having seizures now, and I'm trying to get through it, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna fight. Woo! I think this is what they call an aura. Okay. Excopery and fatigue. I have been on 150 milligrams of Excopery for about 4 years now. For the past 4 years, my tiredness has been at an all-time high. I sleep 10 to 12 hours every night, and if I'm woken up early, then I am sleepy all day, especially at work. Also, take topiramate, 25 milligrams, and have had laser ovulation on my left hippocampus and amygdala. Amygdala. What should I do? Please help me. I've been doing everything I can to change my energy levels, and nothing is helping. I say take B12 by Nature's Made. Helps with energy and everything. I hope it helps with these hot flashes I'm going through. But B12 by Nature's Made to give you a little more energy. Average energy, like energy you don't need, because sometimes I like to sleep. Sometimes the B12 it makes it gives me energy too early, and I'm like, wow, I'm not used to all this energy. I'm used to sleeping in till 10, but I'm up at 9 and 8 and stuff like 8 and stuff. Not used to that, but follow through. One of the comments says, if you figure out how to fix fatigue caused by Excopery, please let me know. All other AED drugs, I used to have horrible side effects, so I suppose I'll take the trade-off. I did find the longer I'm on the same dose, the better it gets. I wish you all the best. It's a good one.
I see you in, Brent.
How are y'all doing today?
Good. I was just gonna say I don't remember pressing record, but it turned on when I got here.
Let's go.
I'm alive. Going through something. This is new.
Take a
But yeah,
break.
that's
Take
why
a
I got
break.
the game chair. I got the arms right here, and I can lean back. Yeah, so I'll be here.
All right.
Still got my list. Just yeah, going through a lot right now. This is new. Getting nauseous out of nowhere. I don't understand, but we'll make it through. Seizures increasing. It says my brother used to have only 1 to 2 seizures a month. Now, just this month alone, he's had about 6 seizures since he had about 6 seizures. 6 seizures. He sees his neurologist at the end of the month, but the last few times he has brought this up to them, they haven't been able to figure out why his seizures are picking up so much. It was a 95-degree day yesterday, so I decided to put up with our water slide. It holds about 600 pounds. He had a pretty bad seizure in the pool. I could tell he was fighting, but he was fighting it too because he just kept trying to get up and was falling back down again and again. It scared me because by the time I got him, he fell in the water seizing and I had to pull him out. He stopped breathing, so I had to call 911. This person's looking for advice. I advise you not to let him get in the pool again because that's not a very good idea. No matter how hot it is, I've never decided, oh, well, I'll get in the pool. That's a good way to cool me down. No. Then you're in a situation like that. You stop breathing and you're in a pool and you got to call 911. I'll read the first, oh my goodness. I'll read the first comment. It says, I am a nephrologist and I don't know what types of exams he has had. My fourth nephrologist over the years all seem to have the same pattern. Oh Lord. My eyes are watering. Yeah, you guys
All right, take a break.
I make you the
Take
host,
a
Kate.
break. You got something to drink right there?
There's some orange juice. I'll be right back because my eyes are watering. Oh man.
Take it easy, Pook.
Take a minute.
All right, you guys. So we got this one here. Somebody's just saying, I don't know what to do. I'm almost 20 with epilepsy. Today I found 2 attachments in my mom's gallery of me after having a seizure. I'm sure everyone has different thoughts, but for me, my seizures are a private matter that only my family can know about. I have previously talked to my mom about how I didn't like her telling my aunt about whenever I had a seizure because it bothered and annoyed me. But seeing a picture and video of me in such a vulnerable state just made me feel like I was betrayed. Mind you, my siblings were present when she took the picture and video. None of them told me anything about it. My mom even snatched the phone away from me when I asked her about it. I eventually saw them, but she said she only took them to show my neurologist and trust there was nothing helpful on those attachments for a neurologist. Another nail in the coffin is that one of my aunts visited nearly a week after that seizure and asked me how the scar on my forehead was. It was one I got while having that seizure, and the picture on my mom's phone was only showing my forehead, focusing on the scar, which makes me nearly sure she showed them the 2 attachments. For now, I'm trying to avoid her and minimize my interactions with her, but from the way she's acting, she didn't even realize that I'm mad at her or that I'm upset. I don't think she even realizes what she did was wrong and truly hurtful. I'm thinking can't trust my own mother, private subject, distancing myself from her and my entire family is the only thing I can do. Just to clarify, the videos my mom took were me unconscious and vulnerable, not during the seizure itself. Deeply personal moment, never gave permission. All right, somebody else speak up first.
Well, I would say that requires a pretty good conversation with your mom. That is who it is, right? It's the mom. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you need to have a talk with your mom. There needs to be boundaries set. And I've had this issue myself before quite a few times, with my own mom sharing private information about my situation with my siblings who don't talk to me. And so it was just a back and forth behind my back, and there were things that were being brought up that I only found out about later. And so you definitely need to have a talk with her. Tell her straight up how you're feeling, how it makes you feel, how uncomfortable it is that people that you don't talk to very often or have that kind of relationship with, you don't want them to know. She needs to know exactly how you feel about the situation. It can't just be avoided, because if it is avoided, which I tried to also do, then it continues to happen. And so once you set those ground rules, usually things start changing. And if they don't, then I would suggest talking to your mom about therapy. Um, you guys could go in together and have a conversation with an unbiased third party, and they might be able to help you find a way to work through that, because that isn't fair of her to do.
I like the therapy option as well, because having an intermediary who can maybe help the mom also see like their kid's side of it. But also I think that it would help the almost the 19-year-old, I think it would help them to have a real discussion about why it bothers them so much. To have like their seizure talked about, because I don't know, this is just me. Like, I personally don't care. Obviously, everybody's different. I just want people to know more about it so they don't react, like we've seen people react when we have seizures. I want more awareness. And if the mom isn't doing it in a productive way and it's just in like a gossipy way, then that's another conversation. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot to that, I guess.
Yeah, everybody in the comments is pretty much agreeing with the mom, saying she means well, and the closest somebody gets is just saying, I'm sorry you have to deal with this type of issue. But after what Sia said, speaking up, I see this person is 20 or almost 20. And even though after the fact it might seem like just focusing on the wrong thing, finding that stuff that you didn't even know existed can definitely feel like a little, mistrust, or just keep it going. So that third party idea is probably the best one, to keep somebody around to help both sides see how this can be beneficial, but maybe draw the line at, don't tell your sisters, don't tell the aunts. They aren't going to be around or able to do anything good. So maybe tell them what to do in the event of, but you don't have to show them pictures of scars. That would be kind of like a draw the line thing, I would think. So yeah, this person has a question now about concerts. Hi, I used to be a DJ before I got an injury and started having seizures. Haven't done a show since, but a friend recently got me thinking about this idea they brought up. Daft Punk is one of the many DJ groups to wear DJ helmets that protect your eyes. I thought it might be something looking into. I have more focal seizures and I'm on meds and in a much better state. However, I don't want to mess anything up and take steps back. So, wondering what you all think. I've been quite depressed since my life used to be that, and the possibility of getting it back brings me so much joy and hope. I can't attach images on this sub as it's not allowed, but you can look up Daft Punk, Galantis for examples, or just DJ helmets in general. Let me know. The only one comment is saying at this point, maybe you can explain this to the doctor in detail. Like Daft Punk, I am from Europe, have generalized tonic-clonics, and still listen to Detroit techno quite loud. Helmet is a really cool idea. Everybody will love it. Yeah, I mean, this one just seems like learn more about your own triggers. And definitely have somebody there for the first couple sets just in case.
Yeah, if they're not like overstimulated by a lot of noise or photosensitive, I wouldn't say it's that big of a concern, and it's definitely something that you can get back into. But definitely take it slow, take a person with you, and make sure that they know what to do if you do have a seizure. And just make sure you're staying safe. Don't overdo it.
I mean, do a couple practice runs where it's literally just, you and like close friends. In like, I don't know if they have like a big open space that they could use to kind of simulate like the projection of the sound and stuff. They could totally like do a couple practice runs and see how he feels. I love the helmet idea though, because if you do fall, you got a helmet on. That's what
Yeah, that's a
happened.
good one.
That's what happened when I had my first seizure. I was wearing a helmet, and it just happened to work out.
I need a helmet.
Just ride a bike all the time.
We got one here that somebody's questioning about screaming during a tonic-clonic. This is basically what the title says. Whenever I have a TC seizure, my parents and siblings always say that I have a seizure, I scream. I think this is so scary to witness. Obviously, I don't know that it happens because I'm unconscious. Can someone explain why they're screaming? And I've always wondered why this happens. I would just assume it's a part of the brain. That's where it happens.
Yeah, maybe
Some people
like
scream, some
vocal.
people
Your brain is
yawn.
going through so much.
of vocal stimulation in that part of the brain, making you make noises. My husband has told me that it sounds sometimes like I'm hyperventilating, but I'm actually not breathing at all. And it's just all the air being pushed out of my lungs. So the brain does weird shit, man.
I scream sometimes, and I, d- I never really thought about it. It's just part of the seizure, I guess.
I think someone told me I kind of like it wasn't so much a scream like a high pitch like I just kind of was like "Ugh," but it was like one like big long grunt, you know.
I had one. Well, no, it was after a seizure. Um, I watched myself on camera, and I was just like going out to the living room and coming back, and the paramedics were standing in here. My mom was like standing here, was like, "He'll be all right. He'll be all right." I was going back and forth to the living room, and yeah, I know this is gonna be on the internet, but I was like, ah, ah. I was just going back and forth from the living room to here doing that, and I was like, I need to keep this video. So I do have the video, but it was very, it wasn't embarrassing because I wasn't there until I seen it on camera, and I was like, the paramedics. They asked my mom, "Well, this is what it usually do, so we'll just leave." And she was like, "He'll be all right." Um, but
It's
yeah,
kind of
that
like
time is when
secondhand
that's
and
the time where I should have had bars on the bed because my mom was holding me as I was shaking, trying to stop me from falling on the floor. Love her, superhero. Um, yeah. Someone said, I only have seizures in my sleep. Someone please help. I had 2 seizures so far, which started 6 to 7 months ago. Both of them have been in my sleep. The first one being 5 minutes, the second one being 10.5 minutes. 10.5 minutes. Oh, the second one being 10.5 seconds. My partner wakes up from them, and I'm 23 and I just have no clue what to do. I'm on medication for it, but I just have the constant fear of paranoia of having one when I'm all alone. Or just in general, to be honest. I've gotten scans and MRIs, but apart from an old scar, they can only seem to pinpoint anything. They think it's anything they think it might be. Uh, a blood vessel in my brain that is just more prone to bursting and causing a seizure. But then again, wouldn't that be able to happen during the day or when I'm exercising at the gym, for example? Um, I don't think you have seizures in your sleep at the gym. I thought that was the first question. Um, Brief answers, anyone?
I don't think I've ever had one in my sleep. I will fall asleep if I feel one coming, and then like I don't know if I really fell asleep or if I just started seizing and passed out. But I wake up a little while later feeling like shit. Um, I it, I don't know if it's like a certain part of like the sleep cycle for them or something. Like maybe it's like when they get into deep sleep or whatever. Sometimes it can be a trigger. Um, because we've talked about it before, where sometimes it's not the overstimulation, it's the understimulation. So like their brain's so relaxed that you know, I don't know, be a like factor like that.
Yeah, I think it happens for a lot of us as we fall asleep. And for the ones that happen after I've been asleep, I think those were always the tonic-clonics. More likely to have absent seizures on the way into sleep. But those are happening a lot less since I'm sleeping less. By the time I actually lay down and I'm actually tired, it seems easier to fall asleep, and I haven't had those falling asleep in a couple months now. And I've really only been living right for like a month. But everybody can establish their own patterns, triggers. Journaling once again.
Mark was saying how jealous he was of my ability to fall asleep yesterday, because I kind of compared it to how when people are in the military, when they come back, or even while they're there, they've trained their bodies to be able to pass out basically second their head hits the pillow, because they don't know when they're going to be able to sleep again, and they sleep like rocks and they don't move. And I'm like, yeah, that's literally exactly how I sleep. I do not move in my sleep, and I will only get about 4 or 5 hours a night, but those 4 or 5 hours I am passed out like a fucking rock.
Hey, that's what you gotten used to. Your body is adapting and adjusting to what you need.
I catch up a little on weekends, but I'm still up early.
I'll be back in a little while, everybody. See you later.
All right, Jeff, see
See
you in
you
a bit.
later.
A few moments ago, there was a pic of
You're
a
right.
movie, and I'm not going to show the pic because it will trigger epilepsy as a seizure survivor myself. Here's my warning to all. Be very so careful. Yeah, this person is writing as they're like delirious after a seizure. What you look at, this goes to me too. The hidden source is Incredibles 2. Health hazards, epilepsy problems. I would not recommend to look up Wikipedia either. So is this person trying to say that like a movie poster triggered a seizure? One for the Hulk? Or no, Incredibles. It says Incredibles. Okay, I don't know what about an Incredibles poster would trigger a seizure. You guys ever had
How
something
long
like
ago
this?
was this?
Yesterday? Yeah, somebody saying 20 hours ago. And Incredibles too. Yeah, that's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been like 15 years since that movie came out.
Somebody commented saying, I just watched Incredibles 2 while babysitting some kids and had no issues. But this post is still hilarious.
Like
Yeah, the other 5 comments are just saying this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it has to just be, no, you happened to have a seizure at the time that you were looking at this, but the poster did not cause it.
No, some patients definitely feel like they need something to blame it on right after.
This is my trigger.
Yeah, it just happened at the worst time.
Just keep all Incredibles 2 posters away from me. I'll be fine.
Right? Can't risk getting your superhero memorabilia. I don't know what this one is. Did anyone experience a prodrome before developing epilepsy? Okay, well now I gotta look that up. Anybody know what prodrome is?
No idea.
An early symptom indicating the onset of a disease or illness. Okay, so a warning, it sounds like. I was recently diagnosed with TLE at 25. One thing I noticed was that I had constant fatigue, brain fog, anxiety for at least a year before I had my first seizure auras. I thought I was just burnt out from grad school, but it ended up becoming something way worse. I'm wondering if this might have been related. Is there a kind of prodrome like this for TLE or any other epilepsy that anyone else has experienced? Well, chances are that constant fatigue and brain fog and anxiety might have been seizures that were just under the radar at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wish I'd paid attention to that back when I first started seizing, because I might have been able to pinpoint some things. It's been long enough now that I just can't remember, like, if I was feeling worse right before I started seizing, you know? So that's a really hard one to, for a lot of us, I feel like, to answer, because we've had seizures for so long that it's like, I just feel slow and foggy all the time. This is my normal now. I don't remember not being slow and foggy now.
And everybody sees a message in the chat, right? To not worry about Pookie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
As someone
So-
who's still pretty new to the TCs. I mean, I feel like I've had this for longer, but that's still to be determined. And diagnosed with the TLE, I definitely felt weird before, but I wouldn't call that what did they say, a prodrome? Like a warning beforehand. I would say that it was more just like my body was very weak, it was very tired, and it was going through a lot. So I don't really know if there would be anything considered like a prodrome for brain abnormalities, unless you got like an injury, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody has a cause for the epilepsy, that's probably the only situation I would expect that prodrome type warning. But all of us with like the refractory, whatever that word is, where they don't know the cause of it, I don't think there was a warning.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely more for like the TBIs and stuff.
Okay, this person is saying it's likely to have a prodrome the day of the seizure and expected to possibly have issues, shortly after. But that's the closest you can get to warnings around these, epilepsy episodes. It's like day of or minutes around.
I think the day that I had my first one, I was feeling off all day. I attributed it to the fact that it was like 95 degrees out, and I'd been working for like several weeks in that type of weather. So I just thought it was dehydration that made me feel off that day. Um, and then woke up with paramedics around me.
Yeah, that's an unpleasant finish to the day. Emotional auras. Does anyone else get really emotional auras where no matter how hard someone tries to calm you, you just cannot hear or respond to anything? Or times when you try to run away and feel threatened? How about postictal? I don't think emotions really come into it unless the confusion just is a little overwhelming. But that's probably the closest I get to, not necessarily like running away or feeling threatened. Never get like paranoid after a seizure. I have heard other people say that they do though.
I get mad and I want to be alone, but I'm not like mad at anybody. I'm mad at myself for it happening. Some like usually that's where those feelings are stemming from. And so like I'll run away, but it's more like just leave me alone for a little bit. you know.
I get sometimes paranoid in my aura stage. If I'm starting to hallucinate or something, or if I'm starting to get the eye pain, which is usually when I know like for sure that something's about to happen, then I start to get paranoid, but I'm like getting paranoid because I know it's coming. And so I'm just like preparing myself, trying to for what's about to happen. But I've never had paranoia from like the seizures itself.
That's good. At least you know what to recognize and what it means. Where then journaling and note taking come in handy. This one sounds pretty familiar. I feel like neurologists that just throw meds at you don't consider you as a person. I'm 28, have been taking meds for almost the whole time I was off them for 3 years. This might not be accurate, but it feels like my neurologist's solution to every single seizure is to just throw meds at it. I understand it's their job, but still. It also feels like they don't consider the side effects, how they might affect you. Yes, they might be side effects, but they're still effects. Some might be something you're not aware of, have always feared. I think memory loss is a side effect of some meds, and some people with semantic memory, like remembering random facts about things. I fear it to the point where it could take away the memory that makes me the smart me. Loss of appetite is another side effect. I know because it's one I have. They hear about you having a seizure. That's the first thing they do. I heard you had a seizure. Let me up the dose. No, not every solution can be found by adding another dose. Sometimes it can, but not always. Yeah, that sounds pretty familiar. Find another doctor.
Yeah, It's not really like I want to blame them, but at the same time, I don't want to blame them because there's not really much else that they can do for the seizures. And I've figured that out finally, but it still sucks because they don't tell you nearly enough information about the medications that they're giving you. I didn't know all the things that I know now about Keppra until I did my own digging. Um, and I think that that's kind of just how they handle their jobs, which is kind of stupid, in my opinion, is that they leave a lot of the information seeking up to us, and then they're just there to hear if you had a seizure or not, and then, here's a medication for it.
And how many other specialists, like imagine how many OBs have met with patients who have been on zonisamide for like half a decade and then turn up pregnant, and then the OB is the one like screaming at them and rolling their eyes about your child's probably gonna have birth defects.
That's the thing
That's just
too.
not information that's ever discussed, and it is obvious.
It's unfair, especially for women who are in their childbearing years. It's unfair for everybody, absolutely. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm just saying for people in their childbearing years, if they're trying to start a family and they don't know the information that there is about these medications affecting pregnancy, then how are they supposed to know? And they end up getting pregnant, and these horrible things end up happening to them, and they end up feeling like it's their fault when it's not. They should have been told.
And there's so many conflicting opinions, especially when it comes to women. They're saying, one of the comments says that's weird because my neuro says Zonogram was okay for pregnancy. I ended up Lamictal and one for Vimpat in the second. Neither baby had birth defects. The OP replied saying, really? My doctor said it causes defects. Wow.
Well, and that's the
Once
thing too,
again,
is this situation for us, for all of us with epilepsy, is that we are guinea pigs. We are very much so guinea pigs. A lot of their treatment methods are new and unstudied. And if there are any studies out there, they're very small groups of people where they won't get a whole lot of information about a whole rather than, a small group of specific individuals. So we are very much like guinea pigs, and it's very stupid, but that's why it's good for us to all talk together, because that way we can all share information with each other that we might have found out that other people don't know about.
yeah, and either way, I mean, you feel so guilty too, staying on a medication when the only birth defect they advise you of is like a low birth weight or something. And a lot of women see that as a risk worth taking. So they'll stay on that medication, but that's gotta be so untrue.
I was
There's
thinking
gotta be more
yesterday,
risk than just
like
that one.
I was thinking yesterday, basically like the guinea pig stuff, like basically we take the pills and give them the feedback. Then that's where I don't know if that's exactly where their research comes from, but that's what I was thinking is the research comes from us taking it. They don't just take people and be like, take this. But
It's definitely the easiest way for them to get the research done without having to set up all these tests.
right.
And we get to pay for it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
make money off of it.
Right. We'll get paid for them testing it.
Like it should be free or you should be paying me. One or the other.
Oh man. I was sweating, was getting nauseous. Now I'm back.
How you feeling
Are
now?
you doing okay now?
Yeah, I was having withdrawals. I haven't smoked in 24 hours.
Jeez.
Oh man.
I thought it was the banana that I saw you eating that helped.
I
The
needed that.
potassium.
That it helped.
That's
But,
what I'm saying, the potassium.
Yeah. We got some indica birthday cake and a pen. So yeah, it helped with the nausea. I'm back.
See my message in the chat to you?
Yeah, I seen it. I'm back. Yeah, mine is cake too. Jungle cake. I got birthday cake. Yeah. Can you tell I need that?
Well, no, the hilarious
Yes.
part of the message was that it's mixed with another strain called cheetah piss.
Yeah, I seen that too.
I was like, I saw
The
that.
way you guys can handle that, putting that in your body and like not being like, well, I just inhaled cheetah piss.
Hey, it's just a
Not only
name.
that,
It's
and you're
not
gonna
actually.
have withdrawals if you don't do it again really soon. Go figure. This one is asking, should I be eating more? Female 22 got super high last night, but didn't eat anything during the day, barely drank anything, and ended up having a seizure while standing up, then almost hitting my head on a car. Boyfriend stood me up too fast after my seizure, made me go right into another one. Should I have ate and drank more that day prior? Scared to smoke now? Advice?
Yes.
Also, be
Just
scared to
eat more.
smoke. Be cautious. Eat more. Yeah, like Kevin said, eat more. Smoke more. I mean, I don't suggest it's the smoking, but you need to eat. Sounds like drink some water, some nutrients in your body. Maybe some rest if you need to.
The brain uses like 20% of the calories that we need in a day. And if we're not getting enough calories, like our brain is going to suffer for it. So you've got to eat.
This person saying, yes, please eat. I smoked my whole life, had a seizure out of the blue. I was stressed and had a friend and his baby mama living with me and his kids. Ended crying in bed because my life was so bad. I thought I had one, my first one. I'm like, what the fuck? So it ain't the weed. It's me being tired and stressed and not eating, but drinking and partying. I noticed. Mine started random as hell into my 20s. And people are replying saying that sounds like my life.
Hmm.
Yeah, pay attention when something's going wrong. Something might have to change.
I got something, Kate.
Okay.
I actually don't, but I do right here. Says, what's happening to me? Hey, everyone. I'm going to go get straight to the point. I've had 3 of these episodes in the last 4 months, spaced out exactly 2 months from each other. All 3 days, some things were in common. I felt tired. I went on a run. The 3rd day, and I had instant coffee a couple hours before I fainted. Had instant coffee a couple hours before I fainted on the 1st day. Lasts over 2 minutes, and I feel like I'm groggy. I can't remember stuff for like 20-ish minutes. 2nd day, I had a Gatorade. Felt better, much quicker than the 1 and 3. Now the most revent time. My heart rate went to 120 for 2 hours after the whole ordeal. And 2 of the next days, I stood up and sat really quickly. My ECG, MRI, EEG, and blood tests were all clean. Has anyone experienced any of these before? And what do they recommend?
So all the tests were clean. What were they feeling?
Feeling groggy is one of them I seen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like basically you might need some rest.
I thought you were gonna say B12.
120 heart rate. I don't know exactly how high or low that is. Is that good or bad? It sounds bad,
That
but
sounds high. Yeah, I think I'm usually in the 90s.
It
It's
depends.
if you're
If
like active, then that's actually kind of normal. Anything maybe over like 130 or 140 is when it's considered high if you're being active.
my resting is usually in the 60s, low 70s. But my active, like if I'm out riding or doing something, then it hits 120. Um, but when I've had a seizure in the past, I've checked my heart rate on my watch, and it has hit like 130, 140 for a very brief period. But like if you're seizing, your heart rate's getting up there because your body's all your muscles are contracting and flexing at this, you know.
Yeah.
And it said this person did have some instant coffee, right? So, I mean, I'm gonna reinforce that point. That will make you feel groggy if instant
You feel
coffee
like
is
you
pretty.
need some more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having some caffeine right now, and it's making me feel a little dizzy.
Oh,
I
I thought it was
shouldn't.
just after you drink it. Like, do you crash after you drink it, or what?
And no, it
What
just
is
makes
that?
me feel dizzy, and that's my one vice, is coffee. Or not coffee. I drink soda. I drink too much soda, and yeah, it makes me feel dizzy, and I think caffeine's pretty bad, but I'll I'm not gonna stop. So who's
We
gonna
all
stop me? Are you gonna stop me? No, I don't think so. So I'm just joking.
No judge. Nobody's judging. I didn't realize
Kevin
how
will.
wide the spectrum for like a normal heart rate is. Mayo Clinic says anywhere from 60 to 100.
Yeah.
But that's probably just again how they cover their ass. So if somebody who, normally runs low has a high one, then they could say I wasn't alerted.
My watch does give me alerts if it gets too high for too long, which I like because sometimes like I don't even realize how fast my heart is racing. And I like those are usually if I'm about to have a seizure, I can usually check my heart rate and I'll notice like a sudden uptick, and it's like okay, I should watch out.
So
Watching
did
your
your
heart.
watch ever?
Hmm?
Okay, I was gonna say, did your watch adjust? To what your heart rate is? Like, would it have advised you maybe if your heart rate went below that, like, I don't know, whatever you said it was 60 or above
Oh, it
120? I was wondering if like the smartwatches narrow it down.
um it doesn't really adjust, but it does have that like that average of like you're fine here, in this range. Um, but if it when it hits 130, 140, it gives me an alert, which is good because that's more than just active. That is like your body is going like your heart is really, really, really racing.
I would imagine these smartwatches would be able to pick up on some um, bodily changes. If a dog could, I imagine.
Well, I mean, I'm just dealing with a basic Apple Watch, where I'm just using the Apple Health tracker thing.
I know.
I
I'm speaking of a hypothetical.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was gonna bring up though. We had that guy who wants to make the seizure like watch, right?
It's
So it's like if there was something that could actually,
prevent a
have
seizure.
that capability and like be able to incorporate more functions, that'd be awesome.
I
Oh yeah,
have
certainly.
the
It could branch out to a lot of stuff. It could, for all sorts of diseases, could pick up on stuff. Okay.
I have the Series 10 and it has added like a lot more features onto it. A couple have been removed, like the blood oxygen one, which I think would have been nice to have. But I think they got into a lawsuit over that one because of information. But the uses it has right now has been actually really helpful because my heart rate it tracks that really easily. And I have it set to my specific parameters. My high heart rate with a seizure is usually like 158 to 170. Um, and it also tracks my breathing respiratory rate. So if I'm breathing really slow, but my heart rate is going really fast, that's usually when I'm able to tell like if I've had a seizure in my sleep, because it'll track it in my sleep, and then it also tracks my sleep really easily with each individual stage. Like the core sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep. I have no idea how it does it, but it has been very helpful.
Mine does that too. Mine at least has that, and I have no idea either. I think it tracks your heart rate. Yeah, I think it's based on your heart rate. I don't know why though. That's just a thought.
So these trends, you guys said, Sia, you said you set the parameters. Did you set those parameters, or did the watch automatically do that, noticing your trends?
So the watch does it on its own. You have to wear it
That's
to
what I thought. It's
sleep.
cool.
For I think it's 7 days, I think. And it tracks my cycle for me. It tracks my breathing, it tracks the heart rate, the sleep, and then a couple other things I can't think of off the top of my head. But then with the seizure apps, I set those myself based on what my watch has told me. So my normal resting rate is usually like 50 to 60. And then my high heart rate when I'm like active doing something is like 120 to 130. So I have it set to that, and then anytime it goes out of that range, it'll send me an alert and I gotta go sit down.
Yeah, that does sound really useful. I mean, just to address that, I think the dogs are always going to be better because they go based on scent. So especially any of us with like the kind of menials, I would trust the dog alert more than the watch. But it was really random when something popped up on my phone, and I don't wear an Apple Watch, but the phone is telling me that I've been taking more steps for the last 4 weeks. I didn't even know it tracked that. So a lot of this stuff it does all on its own. You don't even have to have something active for it to tell you something about yourself.
Yeah, it tracks you. Mine tells me places I went last week that I forgot about.
And the pictures come out of nowhere. You
Right.
know, what were you doing on August 8th, 5 years ago? But then I go into
Right.
photos
Right.
and I
Tracking
can't
where
do
I'm
it.
at this park and that park. I was like, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I didn't know Apple was like that and follow me around and stuff. But
It's a little creepy.
it's helpful, I guess, in the long run for me to have epilepsy and be in public and all. It's just me and the watch out.
I just hate how our phones will also give us ads for like a conversation that we overheard.
Mhm.
That shit definitely gets creepy.
Yeah, they just went through some lawsuit stuff. Uh, you get paid for each device you have, each Apple device. Um, the phones were listening to us. Uh, you ever go, "Hey Siri," and she just starts talking? Who's listening before you even said something? Yeah,
Would you like me to play the next song every time?
yeah.
So balance on this one. Somebody who's having trouble. Just curious, but who out there can go bike riding or do lunges without falling over or almost falling over? So frustrating. Take 300 milligrams Lamictal, 225 Briviact, 6 milligrams Fycompa, and 20 milligrams of clobazam. But taken many anticonvulsants over 40 years. I don't think I'm expecting too much. Come on, it's that cocktail right there, the Fycompa and the clobazam.
That's
You're
a
not
huge
gonna
cocktail.
balance.
And if they've been doing it for 40 or like taking, meds for 40 years, this person is already up there in age. Unless they are 40 and they've been taking them since, I'm assuming they're older than 40. Um, it like there's a lot of factors there, but the biggest one is going to be that cocktail of medication, and then you've got like just general body degradation. Like they may have an inner ear thing that is messing with their balance. If their main problems are bike riding and lunges, um, they definitely have like an actual balance problem. I think, or they are just really bad at doing stuff. I don't know.
Right? Start with squats, then do knee down, then, one at a time.
I look better than I did 30 minutes ago, right? Good, good. I think I just needed some weed. Man.
They were getting
This
too
one wants to know.
overstimulated. You needed to calm yourself.
Right, got an indica.
There you go. No
So,
stress about starting late.
yeah. I can go for 10 more hours. Let's see.
Oh, by the way,
says-
Mark was bragging about how he beat your record.
Oh, he actually
He-
didn't though.
Oh, he didn't? Okay.
No, because he
He was
there
saying he did
with
15.
me. I did 15 hours too. It was 6 a.m. for him. So since I started at 12 p.m. and me and him both got off I got off at 3 a.m. and he got off at 6 a.m. We spent the same amount of time there. And I believe I pressed the button to end, so I was there longer. I got the evidence on
good.
camera.
Good.
And
You
now the
still,
record reflects.
yes. Now we've still got our head honcho here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leave the other one open 24 hours. Yeah.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.